one thing, a trophy. This weekend, they look to take it all.
See vic0, they've got Rise in their sights, completely tackling all opposition here at Canyon Crossing. Rise doing what he can to try and stay alive, but entirely too many players to overcome. Veno breaks right through, and that's going to be the first knock. Another elimination. The sole survivor of this exchange.
And Coyote has pulled out a ton of tricks throughout his career, both online and in global events just like this. But early on in the trio, they just kind of have scraps. They got sticks and stones. And look at this on the other side. Multiple minis, big pots, full health, almost max mats. And even though they don't necessarily have that information, but they have to do something because everyone around them is being proactive. They see them out the weak team. vic0, Veno, Flickzy, they're targeting it over. Pole goes down. That's Kanata stealing away that elimination. Veno's going to clean that one up. So points go to Kanata's team. Loot goes to Veno's.
EU only eliminated. That is a huge blow here in game one. But vic0, Veno, Flickzy, now they might have drawn the attention of the lobby. They're going to bring just outside. They're going to have to still try and push past Tayson's trio. And that's going to be hard to tunnel through because Jacob, with the way that the zone is pulling over resistance, so much water, so much exposure, teams are just burning through materials.
Yeah, this
it's
one's
all about maintaining their positional control.
Oh, they actually found themselves 66 below, but you can see the entire loadout that he has in that inventory is Veno, Flickzy, vic0. They're still down below. They're trying to claim space, and with a minigun, that's just going to be a little bit easier, but with no extra shield, vic0...
To try and challenge for a retake on height, they know how scuffed everybody's looking at her, but vic0 finds that elimination onto Art. That's going to be a massive refresh here. vic0, though, getting beamed.
This is such an exciting time in Fortnite. Once again, I'm going to keep saying it all weekend long, man. Bringing together 7 regions and making them fight. It is spectacular.
I mean, this game looks so good for Veno, Flickzy, and vic0. Honestly, I thought they were going to go ahead and win it because, you know, come around to, I believe it was like 9th zone, it actually pulled to the southeast, and they were already kind of primed up, ready to go ahead, full force, grab the front side of moving, and they did. But for some reason, when they got there, they just had nothing left in the gas tank. They couldn't defend the position. They couldn't pick up the eliminations nor the refreshes in time for them to stay alive as a trio. As you can see here, still the individual performances from vic0 and Veno, still picking up enough points to put them high up on that leaderboard.
Teams going head-to-head, Veno, vic0, and I'm seeing an eliminated Flickzy along the way here at Canyon Crossing. Coyote's team still posing a massive threat.
I know we had a translator helping us out during that interview, and the one thing that didn't need it was, are you going to switch things up? This is how it all started off. vic0 was able to get the first drop onto Yuma. That opened things up, but unfortunately, that minute, I know everybody at home thinking the same thing. Where is that third team? But back on over to this side of the map, Veno finally able to get the drop onto Yuma yet again. So it was Coyote, it was Rise that went for that revive. They did find success, but their job is not done just yet. They still have to figure out where and when they're going to get these eliminations and how they're going to get...
Because still, other action across the map. Veno, vic0 in a very tough position, but Yuma, he's not going to be able to escape. Veno finds the knock, finds the full elimination here, taking full advantage of that siphon, but he still has Rise up above, right inside that top 10 for the leaderboard, but Veno wrapping around underneath. Rise, even though he's overhead, Veno has the shield, HP advantage. Veno still breaking through, doesn't get the shot that he wanted to, but Rise taking a huge chunk of his HP now. Coyote still seeing if he can apply a little bit of pressure on the backup section, but Veno, even in the 1 versus 2, he refuses to budge. That is Aura.
Oh, he finally gets the knock on Rise, and that was huge. That was 2 already coming in. Alex and On and Rise have had enough, as Veno's going to be the one that cleans up that elimination. But what do you do from poking the beast? Because now they got what they wanted.
I mean, you're talking about poking the bear, and take a look at what Veno's managed to do in some of that downtime since he found those early 3 eliminations against Coyote's team. Flickzy, vic0 now back up and in the running here. This is a real opportunity, Jacob, because they've got a couple of other teams that might be a little bit too prioritized with each other, a little bit too fixated elsewhere.
Maybe a little bit too close for comfort. They try to disengage just a little bit, but you see they didn't take the full distance onto that crash pad. They have some materials they want to get back, but they want to control.
vic0, Veno, Flickzy, they're just going to continue to play for positioning. They know that Art's trio is still locked in at Sakura Stadium, so they can...
Or even towards the north and then back down to the south. It is going to be a roller coaster of emotions. And Veno, Flickzy, and vic0 throughout the day has been going through just that. 269 below the damage threshold. Even with Veno hitting a nice shot, it's not going to really change what they're facing right now. And that's why you see them scrambling.
Veno's not going to get the chance from overhead. It's a Minish. This is their backyard, essentially, and Foxy Floodgate now really heating up a vic0. He's not going to allow it. You take down one of my teammates, I'm going to take you with them. Braids having to play for the revive visuals, just not going to be able to do it, though. And Flickzy, vic0. This is a dynamic duo, though, Jacob. They could really make it work.
Yeah, they have a max pull on the other side. And this is what I warned you about, the different type of elevations that are going to start to come into play as vic0 does it again. Taking down a Minish, making sure to clean that one up. 4 more points out of the total as they get their versus the rest of the lobby. And it's given them a little bit more flexibility in different cases.
Whoa, 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 whoa. vic0, though. Parades, where are you at? This is the wrong neighborhood. And Veno, vic0, Flickzy, now with 3 eliminations in total, Jacob. This is much more room to work with than what they've been afforded, and especially considering that Koyota eliminated Veno very early on, but still, vic0, Flickzy cover the situation, and now look what Veno's able to accomplish. A Minish, clean wipeout there by Veno.
Championship, they had to pull something up from underneath their sleeve, and well, that's one way to do it.
Not the only magician working in this lobby. Veno just a little bit of a heist here onto Hero. Tries to take that launch pad instead of punish for it, and vic0 following up. This is much trouble. Marty is trying to squeeze away. It's vic0, it's Veno, and Flickzy chasing them down. They know that they're gonna have to clear out all of these players inside of these lower layers if they want a real shot at beating Queasy up on height.
Yeah, if there's any team that I think has a chance to look up, vic0's taking charge, but he's also taking most of that damage. Flickzy's forced to reload, and Veno is in that mid-cut as well. A challenge.
A little bit of zone here just because of that exotic fizz, but at the same time, vic0, Veno, Flickzy, they're now trying to remind him to hang, but Flickzy wins it all, shutting down the dream here for Queasy. Veno saying it all, anything you can do, I can do better.
We talked about the 6 of 12. It was with that man right there, Veno, with vic0 and Flickzy by his side. They are looking like a terror on the lobby. Frankie, we gotta hear what from them by themselves.
We need to hear what you have to say, Flickzy. What's it like getting a victory royale here on LAN in Lyon?
It's great. I mean, we died off spawn, we clutched the game. It's really good.
And yeah, you clutched the game. I mean, it was quite the competition between you and the leaders of the lobby. Were you aware it was Queasy you were up against?
I mean, we knew it was Queasy, but we're just better than them, so we just went up and killed them.
I think you might need to get a few more victory royales before you can say that. I do want to come to you, Veno, obviously up against an ex-teammate you know really well. Does that make it a bit more satisfying or even a little bit more in your head? You know each other so well.
Nah, if I can't win this tourney, I want Queasy to win.
Oh, I've never heard him say such nice things. Thank you, Veno. And of course, Choco, à toi pour vic0.
How do you feel after this first victory royale, and how will you do the second one?
Hey, I mean, I feel great, you know. We finally got a win that we wanted, you know. We're still calm though, but it's kind of hard. But hey, I mean, we're doing the best of it. Next round, you know, we're gonna win our spawn. We're gonna win the game again, you know. We're gonna catch up to Queasy finally and shit. So yeah.
Ils sont très déterminés à remonter dans ce classement et à continuer de monter. Ils adorent et surtout, ils sont très confiants pour aller chercher une deuxième victoire.
Are you expecting to still be contested at Canyon Crossing?
I mean, we were expecting it because they were laying down Asia, but I think there's no point for them to contest because, I don't know, even if they're winning, they're not getting good games, so.
Well, we will see after this short break.
And they saw the fight end in the feed. They say, you know what? Maybe next game, maybe tomorrow we'll do this.
Let me the other way.
Yeah, but you see what's going down here right now. They actually chose to split the drop. Koyota, Yume, and Raisei are going to take the top side of Canyon, get the early surge, steal away some of this loot. And you can see what Veno, he has really no other choice. He knows the full team is all around, and a third party closed off into the distance, pump away from going down. Victor B and him have to figure it out, but Veno, Flickzy, vic0, they're trying to do the same thing. Not necessarily fighting the same options, the choices of what to do next.
The key part, though, about Veno, vic0, and Flickzy is you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile here. Quincy bit off more than he could chew. vic0 Vico's gonna have no problem shutting that one down, and it's Flickzy credit for 2, Veno with 1, but a nice cleanup all the way through.
DMR, but now it's turning around on them. Vico, Flickzy, Veno, they're dropping down from above. They know they have a huge numbers advantage. And that's why Vico's playing from the top down, trying to cut off any paths, any escape routes. But the numbers are just way too much for them to handle. Vico gets the last laugh on the Buyuriru.
If it had been anyone else, remains though for Medium, and whether or not Flickzy, Veno, Vico decide to stick around, they might realize there's a third party that could easily roll on over, but they found it.
Yeah, they got that same feeling that you did. Somebody might be pushing over. The fight might have taken way too long, drawn a lot of attention, and yes, it actually has, all the way from across the ocean. OCE from that low side on the map. Storm Surge is going to be one of their big, really have to start to figure out a way to take advantage of it. And with 2 teams here, Vico, Flickzy, and Veno. Ranger's team also lands on this side of the map, so they're trying to figure out where is the easiest possibility to get that damage.
It's just no secret. Anon was very vocal about the fact that he is not a fan of the way Surge has been working zone by zone. Up 1,001, down 300, and another. He currently is, but instead, it's Balls, Kanata, and Rapid. He's looking to play spoiler, but he can't get enough damage applied for Stash. Still, somehow, some way, tarping through this middle layer, and nobody seems to be cutting him off just yet, but he's running out of material, and Malibuco and Watch from overhead, they've lost Ping. Ping thought that he could take out Darm in the process. Instead, he loses his own life.
Somehow, Rapid, Kanata, Bolts all still alive on the low ground. Even with Bolts going down, they got the front side.
Scrapping straight away. Both teams getting some time to loot up.
And Veno actually got that first elimination onto Coyote. It looked like Yuma was trying to play aggressive and try to clean it up, but Veno just created so much distance, it made it too much of a risk to continue to try to push it down. But back and forth, these off-spawn zone 10, maybe even 9, that they actually went up for that high ground and held it for the rest of the game. But you're seeing some teams above the damage threshold with their eliminations, but 4 eliminations though, Veno, Vico, and Flickzy, they're 178 below the damage threshold. They know they have their work cut out for them and getting focused outside of the lobby, making it hard for them to find their way in without burning through these materials.
They've at least got an ample amount of mats though, so they're not too pressed just yet, but they're gonna have to start to kick things into overdrive because Vienna directly next to them. This is the first fight they can find. This is the first fight they're gonna take, and Anon immediately beamed, thrown back. That's all the damage that they needed.
Focusing down that second height. It may not be an AR, but the damage is still there. But Flickzy and Veno, they both go down. Vico's still 59 below the damage threshold. He does have minis, he does have some big pop, even a med miss. But the miracle thing is that Storm Surge is going to turn off. It's going to reactivate later on in this game, but at least he knows where he stands.
But they were just constantly...
This could be their chance to get that BR, and they get another elimination on the pump. Can they clean it up, though?
I like this from Vico, though. Still just out of sight, out of mind, but he might be able to make a huge play if he can find another elimination. Said no, Vico jumped on first. That's going to be the
take matters into their own hands with the drop spot roulette. It's not just for one team. Veno, Flickzy, and Vico, they've had enough of Canyons crossing. They go toward the north side of the map. Balor, Adapter, Mansoor, they're the ones now getting surprise contested.
The issue for Veno, Vico, and Flickzy as they find that last elimination on, but teams are continuing to collapse around the map. Vico, Veno, Flickzy also looking to establish a little bit of a surge strategy. It comes as no real surprise that some teams are still looking to just trade knocks from their surge-based positions. But again, when teams are caught up in these close encounters, they don't have any other choice but to
saw what happened in the feed, but now we get to see it here. Flickzy down. Vico's trying to fight those revives, boots back up, but Vico, Veno, Flickzy returning.
He's got a big elimination onto Yuma. Flickzy and Veno are not with him though. Coyote still looking to chase Vico out, and Vico nearly gets the